Welcome to the JAMODI podcast. We are all surrounded by amazing coaches and leaders. So let's get an inside look at not just what they do, but how they do what they do. After all, becoming the best versions of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it. Coaches, the JAMODI podcast is powered by Shoot 360. The future of basketball has arrived in Dallas-Fort Worth. Shoot 360 combines the latest sports technology with the fundamentals of basketball skill development. The result is a one-of-a-kind video game-like basketball program designed to improve your shooting, dribbling, and passing. Visit shoot360dfw.com to learn more and register for your free 1-hour workout evaluation. Shoot 360, the future of basketball is here. I think being in any profession for 40 plus years is hard to do. It's incredible. I think you see people, burnout is real. They get called to do other things. And what daily habits, allowed you to have success in your field for so long?
Well, I just first of all, man, I couldn't have worked at a better place. People stay up here, an ex-superintendent over 30 years, principals decades, and you just don't see that very often. But it's a fantastic place where the administration is great. I've just been blessed to have that, and for personally, I've always was happy. The very first year I got my head coaching job in 1982, I saw Jim Valvano speak in Fort Worth. And one of the things he talked about was, coaches too many times mess with happy. Dick Vitale, in one of his books, even mentioned that when he left to go from the University of Detroit to the Pistons, that Jim Valvano chewed him out and told him, "You're messing with happy." I think Coach Valvano used another verb instead of messing with happy. But anyway, that always stuck with me. And my family was happy, and I was happy, and things were going great. So personally, that's one thing I think that allowed us to be successful, was just a great situation. I wished every coach could have the support from a community, from a school, from administration, from assistant coaches that I went through. I mean, those factors, I see so many places where it's difficult, and like the old saying, a great job can become a bad job with one hire, and it's so true. But I've been fortunate enough in my daily habits to just to be able to deal with a fantastic place, just Shangri-La really. And then for our program, Matt, I don't know, that's me personally really, but for our program, man, I think some daily things was that just trying to stay consistent with the little things. When I was a young coach, I heard somebody say at a clinic about, man, you're either coaching things, you're encouraging or correcting, or you're allowing things to be wrong. Mm-hmm. That always stuck with me. In every single drill, a guy can get down lower, or dribble with your proper hand, or throw great passes in every single drill every day. Just little bitty things like that. The coach was talking about, felt like somebody asked him a question, felt like that made the difference. That you didn't have to harp on it. You didn't stop the drill, but man, you just corrected on the fly or praised on the fly. Hey, great job. That's what I'm talking about. Super, great pass. That's why he made the 3-pointer, And so, for basketball wise, daily habits like that, I think that's something we try to emphasize every day that made us successful. We're an up-tempo program, and in 2011, we got beat in the state championship game, and in that year, we averaged 84 points a game and took 75 shots. We have a goal. We want to get 80 shots. We never really get to that, very seldom, or we never averaged it. We get to it sometimes. And, we had an excellent team, and we averaged 11 turnovers a game, a little over 11 turnovers. And through the years, I went back and looked before, and we'd average about 75 points a game and 67, 68 shots, and right at 14 to 15 turnovers a game. That's been our average. But every day, every drill, man, we kill on turnovers. You can't try something. We got to get the ball to the rim. You can't be sloppy. You can't You can't, throw passes that you think might get there. We've got to get the ball to the rim so we have a chance to offensive rebound, and it's something we emphasize every day. And I think it truly helped us.
I think that's a common misconception that if you are going to play faster, that automatically your turnovers are going to shoot up, or it's just going to be chaotic or ugly basketball. But I've seen, and I think you have too, because the pace that you play, averaging 11 turnovers, that's incredibly efficient with what you're doing. It doesn't happen though if you're not harping on those small details every day. And I love the fact that you talked about not just coaching the negative things that you see, but praising the positive, because those other players hear the positives that you're praising, and most likely they want to do that too.
Exactly. I'm in total agreement there. Anytime, that's just human nature. I think that, a kid standing there and he hears, the coach praising someone, hey, that's it. That's the pass, or that's the way to get down lower, or that's what I'm talking about. But, they see that too. So, I think it's very important.
One reoccurring theme already just in talking with you is the joy, being happy, loving what you do. I think I hear maybe in social media sometimes you see the good stuff, but you also hear complaining from people, or you even talk to some coaches and they just seem miserable. What's your advice to, like, is coaching uh, a joy to do? High school coaching a joy to do, or is it really hard? And maybe it's both, but what's your advice to those coaches that just seem to be kind of miserable in what they're doing?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head right there. I think it is both. I think I think coaching is hard, and a lot of people don't realize, hours and work and preparation, and it's just, it can be a hard thing. But, man, I just felt like I never worked a day in my life. I'm getting to mess with a basketball team. I've played or coached on a basketball team since I was 12 years old.
Hmm.
So going forward, it's probably going to be a little bit of a change. But, I don't know what you do over Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays besides play games and practice.
What are you going to do with all your time, coach?
Yeah, no kidding. I'll find something. But I think sometimes, and that goes back to your situation to me, man. I just had great support here. I wasn't dealing with administration or I'll knock on wood on this. I'm not a parents. I just have had minimal
Hmm.
parent problems here. I'll visit with any parent about anything but playing time and sit and talk with them and whatever. But it's just I think so many situations you can get worn down, and to where it's just really really hard. My advice would be, at the end of the day, man, it's just basketball. You're just getting the coach. You're part of a team. And enjoy the journey instead of the destination is the way I always looked at it. I was never a guy that, like, oh my gosh, we've got to win, or we're failures, and just the journey. In 1990, we were the number one 4A team in the state, undefeated, 30-0, and got beat in the first round of the playoffs. And by a very good team that was well coached by Kenny Williams, and
Oh,
and just got us, just got us. And you know, people still to this day, many decades ago, but ask, "Oh my gosh, that still hurts you?" And I said, "No, not really." I think about it. We had a team that could have won a state championship. We're extremely talented. Won a couple of 5A tournaments that year. Won the Whataburger tournament, and but at the end of the day, the journey was unbelievable. We had crowds that were incredible. The town was electric. And so I've always been an enjoy the journey type guy instead of, gee, we've got to reach this destination. And that's the best advice I think I could give any coach.
I really want to thank you for um, that reminder about being happy where you are and how important that is, and not necessarily constantly looking on or forward to what's next, what's the next biggest or best situation that I could be in. Because I think there, any coaches that do listen, we're all competitive and we all see maybe what other people have. You know, I was at McKinney High School with Wes Watson, and to kind of go from that level, that size of a school, to Grapevine Faith Christian School, where we're a 5A TAPS. We have 343 students, half are boys, you know, so that's who, and we don't recruit. So that's who, who we have. But there's, over the years, I mean, there's just been sometimes this feeling of, you know, what about there? What could you do? But then I think, man, my son is here. I love the people here. I love the students. I love what the school stands for. So I think, you know, maybe today, just talking on here with you, if nothing else, I can't wait to talk about the style of play, but if nothing else, that reminder from someone like you that has had so much success, but has been at where you are, for that long. I really appreciate that. I think I needed to hear that.
Well, thanks. I truly believe it. You know, I just think that you're right. As coaches, we're all competitive people, and we always look and say, "Gee, man, I wished I had that guy or this situation or this or that." But you know, at the end of the day, I just think, you know, the saying in the book that I've never read, but I've always heard it's great. Make the best place where you are. I can't remember the exact title.
Make the big time where you're at.
Make the big time where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
George Barber at Greenville was the one that turned me on to that book. You know, I haven't bought it yet, because if you go on Amazon and look for it, it's like $57 because there's only a few copies out there. Like, so maybe that's a Christmas present for me. I don't know.
Kidding. But, I've always wanted to. I don't know why I've never read. Wasn't the guy Frosty?
Yeah. There's just not a lot of.
Yeah.
It's an old book, not a lot of copies out there. So maybe one of us gets his hands on it, and then we share it. Or
that'd be great.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.